Hello, I'm Dave Chapman from Ancient Arts, and today we're going to make some nettle string. What we're going to do is we're going to turn this into this, and here's how we do it. First thing we need to do is collect ourselves some nettles, and these are good candidates over here, nice long healthy nettles. So for that we need to use some gloves to save getting stung. And what we do when collecting these, there's lots of useful things that we can use here. We can use the tips for eating, and we can collect the leaves as food. And what we do is we take the nettle and we pull it lengthways like that. It breaks the root off in the ground, so the nettle will grow again next year, and then we can actually process it. So what we need to do is we need to process the nettle, and we do this simply by removing the leaves. And, we rub the stem up and down to remove any hairs or stings off the nettle. And we remove the tops of the nettles. And so once we've collected our nettles and processed them, stripped all the leaves and the stings off, we put them in water overnight, and this gets rid of any final stings that are left on them and makes them safe to use. What we do is we crush the nettle using a stone. You don't need to go mad on crushing it, we just need to gently crush the stalk to break the fibres, taking care to break up each little node there. And we just run right along the nettle until we have a flat nettle. So we end up with a flat nettle. Now, the trick in making nettle string is to actually break the woody fibres from the bark on the outside. It's this bark on the outside, these fibres that we're going to actually make the string from, and this woody bit in the middle has to be removed. So we've got to remove the pith. What we do is we remove this woody pith, we snap it and form like a little castellations there, and then we pull it off. And it's these fibres that we want for making the string. Once again, we snap it and we pull the wood out. If we do it the other way round, it tends to run to nothing, particularly when the nettles are dry. At this time of the year, this is the spring here in Wales, we can probably get away with pulling the wood out, but it's better to actually snap this pith out, and that's the key to it. Get those little castellations there and pull them out, and then we end up with nettle fibres. Now these are the fibres that we want for making the string, and what we do is we break them in half and open them up like that, and then we reverse them over. Because the nettle is thick at one end and thin at the other, we reverse them over, and that gives us an even piece of thread. So we take the fibres and then we start to twist. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm twisting both the sets of fibres in a clockwise direction. Because they're in opposite hands, they're forming the string, and it's the friction within the rope that actually forms the strength of the string. So we're twisting it. And that one goes clockwise and that one goes clockwise, and they twist together. There are many ways of doing this, but this is a favourite of mine. I find it a good way of making all kinds of ropes and cordages. So we pull it out, then we just tension it and pull it out like that. And that's a very strong piece of nettle string. So this is the one we've made earlier. This is what the fibre looks like once it's completed. To then actually thicken the rope or make a cord, you can just carry on by twisting it. The cord doubles in thickness but it halves in length each time. You can carry on going right up to the thickness of big ropes and hawsers. So what we're going to do now is we're going to show the process called laying in, and basically that's to lengthen the string, because this is one nettle, then we're going to add the fibres from another nettle into it. So we put some in that hand and twist round, and we put some more fibres in this one and twist round as well. Twist them in. That's a process called laying in. It allows us to make big long pieces of rope and string, and we can carry on adding indefinitely to this. We can make cordage, we can make rope, and the great advantage this gives you is once you can do these things, once you can make rope and cord, so all sorts of other things open up to you, all sorts of possibility. You know, from an ancient perspective, ancient peoples would be able to make rucksacks, they'd be able to make tents and shelters, they'd be able to make bowstrings and slingshots, slings. There's all kinds of things that can be made once you have some cordage.